everybody, welcome back to the garden. I'm Old McBuckles. Thanks for watching. If you're considering raising backyard chickens, I have 5 things for you to consider before becoming a chicken tender. You know, like a person that tends chickens. The first thing to consider is it even legal in your area? A lot of places have restrictions on what you're allowed to raise as far as livestock on your property, especially if you live in a suburban area. So definitely check your local laws first. So the second thing to consider is how many birds. Chickens are social creatures, so I don't ever recommend buying just one. They'll get lonely. A small flock of 4 to 6 birds is enough to provide a small family with eggs, probably more than they can use, while still being manageable in a small backyard coop. During a hen's prime laying years, she'll lay about an egg a day. After about 3 or 4 years, her production will decline, but old hens are still very useful. They often still get broody, which means they like to sit on eggs. Or if you either hatch out some chicks or purchase chicks from your local feed store or Tractor Supply, they will often adopt those chicks as their own and protect them from other members of the flock and proudly strut around with them. Third thing to consider, housing. Chickens really don't care where they live. I've had hens make homes in old burn barrels that were turned over on their side. They will roost in your trees if you let them. So their housing doesn't have to break the bank. All of my early coops were made from salvage materials and wood pallets. Alternately, there's many kits available online that can be shipped right to your door if you're remotely handy and have a few tools. I prefer chicken tractors because the hens get a new section of grass that they can pick through, dig for bugs and seeds. Every day they get a new section of grass, and then they're not constantly in their own waste. I prefer raised coops as they provide the best protection for the hens. It's harder for predators to get at them. You got to make sure they're secure. Hens are pretty smart, and they'll get out if they can. Hens also like to be up, especially when laying or sleeping. If you keep your coop in a stationary position, keep in mind that any ground under that is going to be completely turned over by the hens. They will peck and scratch relentlessly. You'll have absolutely zero grass, and you'll start to develop a nasty, sticky mud. Chickens are very hardy. They can survive very cold temperatures. I live in Pennsylvania. It gets cold here, we have snow. Just a few days ago, we had temperatures down into the single digits. My hens were just fine in their coop with no supplemental heating. What will kill your chickens is summer heat and lack of access to water. I've never lost a chicken to cold, but I have lost hens to hot weather. Another note on free ranging. Chickens can be very destructive due to their natural desire to scratch and peck. As you can see, the ladies will take a step, they do a couple scratches, do a couple pecks. That's all well and good when they're in their pen, but when they are scratching and pecking in your mulch beds, your flower beds, your garden, they can be quite destructive. So have the best relationship with you can with your hens. Keep them in a secure pen. They'll keep them safe and you happy. The fourth thing to consider is daily care. What does it take to be a chicken tender? What do you have to do every day? Well, they need food and water every day. Even when it's cold out, even when you go on vacation. Daily care can be completed by a school-age child. It should only take you about 5 minutes a day to do their daily care. See my clip here. So every day you'll need to feed your chickens. Because the food comes in 55-pound bags, I like to store it in trash cans, regular metal trash cans. Keeps the food dry, which is very important. You don't want it to get mold. Also keeps out vermin like mice and rats. If you store chicken food in a container or just leave it in the bag, there's a high probability that you might get invaded by rodents. They love chicken food. So, picture. One pitcher of high quality Kalmbach chicken feed. And then in can number 3 here, I have the custom scratch grains from the feed store. If you keep your flock in a chicken tractor like I do, you'll need to move it at least once a day. All right, come on, girls. Once they know the procedure, they stay away from the wheels and they're super happy to get to that next patch of grass. If you don't move them every day, your yard's going to be a total wreck. The first thing I do when feeding the hens is give them some scratch greens. They go cuckoo for these, and it's a good distraction to keep them busy while I do the rest of the chores. That should be enough. All right, girls. Some agua. Oh, yeah. These girls are thirsty. And a little food. And now, while the ladies are distracted, let's get our booty. So that's it. 9-10 eggs here already this morning. Daily chores are done, and now there's nothing to do but maybe have an omelet and watch your bird. Each bird's going to eat a few ounces of feed a day, so a 50-pound bag of feed would probably last your flock of 4 to 6 hens maybe a month, give or take, depending, again, on the feed and the number of hens. And as always, I recommend buying the highest quality feed that you can afford. No Purina products ever again. And number 5, sanitation. Poop. Chickens poop a lot. Basically, when they're not pecking, they're pooping. Even if your hen's free range, which I don't recommend, they'll still come back to their coop at night to roost and lay their eggs. I don't recommend free ranging your hens because they poop a lot, and they will poop anywhere. They will poop on your picnic table. They will poop in your kids' playhouse. They will poop on your grill. They will poop on your front doormat. They'll poop on your neighbor's front doormat. They'll poop on your windowsills. They'll poop on your car. They'll poop in your shoes. How do I know this? I've been a chicken tender for quite a while. Luckily, chicken poop is fully organic and you can compost it for later use in your garden. So for those of you who have been wondering, hey, Old McBuckle's garden, where's the plants? Why do you always talk about chickens? Hey, we're preparing for our garden already because we can compost that used bedding and that manure and turn that into a very strong fertilizer after you compost it for a few months. Synergy. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. I love reading your comments. I love getting questions from you because that's what prompted this video right here was questions from the audience. Synergy.